All right.
Oh well.
Damn.
All right.
All right. Welcome everybody to our review of COD, Cash on Delivery. We just were talking for a good bit and realized we weren't recording here. Unfortunate, but
That is
this
unfortunate.
is a movie I'm sure you heard of. Cash on
Yeah, all
Delivery.
of you've heard of all of you've heard of this movie. Everyone's the Letterboxd is it's a slam dunk on Letterboxd. Everybody's reviewing it.
Yeah. So the wheel behind
Everybody's there.
us, we spin that wheel for chance time, a series we do on the channel. Completely random movies out of our control, and landed on this movie here on Prime Video. All right, so we're gonna talk about it. Here, we'll start with our gut check. We already know what we said, but here's our score: 3, 2, 1, 1.
1.5, baby.
Yeah. Damn,
As I
we
put
were
the
having
point,
some fun talking about this movie too.
we were. It was very unfortunate
Yeah.
that that happened, but um,
So I was saying,
well,
yeah, it's a rough, very rough movie. You were saying it's one of the worst
one of the,
movies you ever seen.
I it's one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen. I mean, it's like incomprehensible. Like the plot is so convoluted. The comedy is not funny at all. It's like it. Here's one thing. This is one thing I was gonna. I actually didn't bring up when we were talking about it, but this is something that kept occurring to me while I was watching it. It was reminding me like how it looked. It reminded me of Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, just in
Oh,
terms of how it looked.
okay.
It looked like a cheap children's television show, and I say that lovingly when I'm talking about Ned's because I love that show. But
Hmm.
um, it was this released in theaters? Was this a made for TV? It felt like a made for TV movie almost because there were some weird commercial break cuts. I don't know if you noticed those.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no
There were
idea what.
there. It felt like there were cut. There were actual cuts in the movie, like in the middle of
Yeah,
certain things.
yeah.
Um,
So I was saying the
but
opening
yeah.
sequence with the animation was very scary to me. It was terrifying.
Well, the thing is, that was the part of the movie. So the music in this movie was horrendous,
Hmm.
by the way, um, as well as anything else. But that was the part of the movie where it used like licensed music. It used like
Yeah,
the good, the bad, the ugly theme. Used Ennio Morricone. There's like music from Pulp Fiction that they used randomly in there, and then they cut really hard, and it was so awkward. And
yeah,
it was so weird. It was because it was like cheap 3D CG animation,
hmm,
but like cheap to the point of this is what they use for previs type stuff. Like it's like a previs animatic.
yeah. Almost sneezed. Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. I thought that's what you were gearing up for there. So yeah, it looked like previs animatic stuff. Like, but this is what's in the
Or
movie.
like a really bad mobile game ad is what I was saying. It
Yeah.
was really bad. It was it was terrifying.
It's really
And I had a
really
moment where I
terrible.
was like, it was going on so long. I was like, is this actually just a movie? And like, what the clips of actual people I saw is that not what this is? I don't know.
Right. So, and I guess so. What ultimately it turns out is that this is our main character, Go Cool.
Hmm.
I mean, the name is Cool, Go Cool.
Sure, yeah, like Bond,
Yeah,
James
sure,
Bond type of
whatever.
thing.
Yeah, I guess so. It was like his that's like his project, his animation or something. I guess
Really
he works
bad.
at an animation studio
Yeah,
or something. Or I don't. That was never like
really
fully
bad.
explained. But yeah, his boss didn't like it, and his boss says you need to stop slacking and do better work or something.
But yeah, I was talking about how the all the characters they don't. I never really know any of their names, so I give them all nicknames. You know, I just called him like he's the Hulk shirt guy. There's the pencil
Hulk shirt man.
guy. There's the harmonica guy, and there's Amigo and Bonita. You know.
Yeah, harmonica guy who we see at the very beginning of the movie. It's like the very beginning. There's like a it's like that was like already signs of like oh no, because first of all we have the worst music I've ever heard in a movie in my life, where it's just like yeah, It's like that's
It
not
just
how a
cut out
harmonica
for you.
works.
Yeah.
That's not how a harmonica works.
It was like a
He's
musical
like he's like
sting. Yeah.
sliding it. He's like sliding it back and forth, like it's supposed to be like him playing the harmonica. Like,
Hmm.
they just have him play the harmonica. But literally everything in this movie is 80 yard.
Yeah.
All of the dialogue, all of the sound
I
effects,
like how the
all of
sound
the
effects are
everything.
so meaty, like
Yeah.
even when he like
Oh
grabs
yeah.
someone by the hair, it would still have like
Yeah. It's like
the meaty punch sound effect, like,
yeah,
and like they're just grabbing. It was like, whoa,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, this is, and that was the thing. That was the thing that featured very prominently with the characters that you called the Wiggles.
yeah. I was gonna say I
When we were
forgot
talking
them
before,
again.
the Wiggles, which is a great name for them because they all have different colored shirts on.
Hmm. That's it.
Um,
That's all they are, and they
but
refer to each other as their colors.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and but yeah, sound effect library was used there. I mean, at least a little bit of it. Not, they weren't breaking the budget on that.
Yeah.
Um, to say the least.
And we got into
But yeah,
talking about how convoluted the plot is, and how everything
yeah.
ultimately, spoilers. If you want to watch the movie, go watch it now. I'm gonna get into spoilers, but we don't recommend it. Yeah,
No,
our initial score
not.
is at least 1 and 1.5, subject to change in the end.
Uh-huh.
But it ultimately culminates in Amigo and Bonita secretly being a married couple. They were undercover agents all along. It was one big scheme on their part, to
And
catch Don Carlos by like baiting him in this deal or something. Yeah,
that doesn't. None of it makes sense though. It's
yeah.
like they. I guess, yeah. I guess it's just they're trapping Don Carlos, but to get money from him,
Hmm.
because they essentially extort him and then kill him for money. So that doesn't seem like undercover agents to me. That seems like they're criminals,
And for such
right?
a seemingly important figure, Don Carlos, he's like all by his lonesome out there. Like,
Hmm.
they were able to so easily just take him. He didn't have anybody he brought with him. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
no
what the heck?
backup or
Like
anything.
Gus Fring always has
So I
backup.
was
What do
thinking.
you mean? What do you mean? You're supposed to be like this big shot, and you don't have backup? That's so crazy.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking about like we weren't sure. You brought up that in the beginning of the movie, they show Bonita who was in
Oh
bed with
yeah.
someone, and we weren't
Yes.
sure is that supposed was that Amigo? I don't know if that was that teeing us up
I
for to know, like we should
yeah,
know
and
that something was going on. I don't know.
the thing is like, yeah, I just don't remember because like I so one thing I said in the original review. So like I started to watch this movie when I had like Easter celebrations and stuff. I came home, I
Yeah,
threw it on because like, oh, I saw, because I looked and I saw, oh my god, this is 2 hours and 10 minutes
yeah,
long. I was like, oh, I have to get this done. I have to get this out of the way. So I threw it on, and then I got about a half hour in, and we're in the midst of Wiggletown, and I can't watch the screen anymore. I basically fall asleep.
it's rough.
I wake up at about maybe 45 minutes later, and I was like, oh geez, so I have to like rewind it, and then I go back and I catch back up to where I was, and I was like, I can't take this anymore. I can't watch this movie anymore. Um, so I stopped watching it, and I watched the rest of it when I got home today, and so maybe some of it was lost in the haze and the fact that this movie makes
But
me feel
yeah,
like
I
I've been
literally didn't
drinking.
remember. I didn't really remember that scene by the end of it. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Well, there's a
yeah.
lot of scenes that just drag on for no reason anyway. So it's like I can understand forgetting that because your brain is just getting used to seeing two people in a car driving around because
Yeah,
that's
a lot of
like
car
what
scenes.
80% of the movie is.
But so we got Bonita and our
Yeah,
main guy go cool, allegedly.
they're
They
flirting the whole
guess
time. They
so.
flirt a lot.
It
Yeah.
starts with like he doesn't want her in the cab because he there's the whole thing, a constant bit where you go into the trunk where the goods are, and it's
Yeah,
oh.
they play the meme. It's the meme thing. It's so I want, that's actually like that is a piece of music that's like a classical piece of music that is it's kind of a fun thing where it's like the art it is about like heaven, like it is supposed to be like a heavenly choir in that piece of music, so it's fun because it's like that's what it's always used for as a meme in the like meme use of that sound. So it's fun that like that's always been perpetuated. It's like, oh, this is like the original context of that was supposed to be like an angelic, like heavenly sort of thing. Anyways, they play it way too much in this movie.
But whenever someone looks in the trunk, they have to have the biggest reaction.
What is it with everyone's obsession looking in people's trunks, by the way? People will just randomly go in the whatever they are and they'll just open the trunk.
Yep.
I'm like, what is going on? Why are you just doing that? That's so rude.
Bonita will find a dead body in Pencil Guy's trunk.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Pencil
also,
Guy, we mentioned Pencil Guy.
Yeah.
Also, we were like, that guy's wild. Like, he's just literally he's a crazy
person,
and he gets in.
He's just a crazy person in the movie for no discernible reason.
Just so he can. I don't think he can do little pencil kills and kill off half the cast, and then come in at the standoff at the end.
Most of those pencil kills are horrible.
Yeah,
and I'm of the mind that the last one is the one that they filmed first, and they're like, oh, that's way too much work. We can't show that much. So
yeah.
So they show like nothing for most of them, and then the last one is the most gruesome. And I was like, oh, we actually get some violence here. That's kind of nice.
Yeah,
it's lame and shot horribly, and at a flat angle. But hey, at least it's something. Blood spurting everywhere.
But Pencil Guy is just killing people with pencils. You know what time it is when he gets the pencil sharpener out. and then Harmonica Guy will just casually shoot some guys along the way too. Real casual, like.
while he slides his harmonica across his mouth and we'll just play the whole time.
Yeah.
Also, the other musical sting, which will play when that's not happening, then the that one will just play throughout, like repeatedly throughout the entire movie.
Yeah,
it's great. I love it. I'm gonna be haunted by those for the rest of my life.
Yeah. So we were saying the score is horrible. The sound effects are rough. Like everything's like when they're punching, it's the meaty sound effects. Even if they're grabbing, it's the meaty sound effect. Like you just punch somebody.
And it'll cut. Sometimes the sound effect will cut, like do a hard cut. They won't play the full thing out.
The musical cut too. Yeah.
In the musical cut too, it's so
that's rough.
Incomprehensible. And it all just looks like a cheap TV movie. And
the gun sound effect is like really loud sometimes. Like, Bonita. So there's not really anything good in this movie. I think Bonita might kind of be my favorite in the movie. Like there's some fun energy there with her character.
Yeah, her and Go Cool have, I would say, the most fun of the movie. So that's why I was kind of like, I kind of felt betrayed when the movie is just like, actually, it's her and Amigo are together, and I'm like, oh. Amigo is like the worst character, not the worst character, but he's like not an interesting character like at all.
I think his aesthetic is like the villain from the SpongeBob movie. That's his aesthetic. And yeah, he does not.
And also he survives. He survives a bullet to the head.
Yeah, I was like, I was wondering why they filmed that scene so weirdly when they shot him initially. It was like weird freeze.
Well, that felt like stuff. Well, like I said earlier, most of this movie made it feel like I was drunk watching it because I couldn't absorb the information correctly. That made me feel like I was having a stroke because it was like a slideshow presentation, and I'm not exaggerating at all.
It's true. Turns out I think it's because they wanted to like obscure the fact that he didn't actually get shot. I don't know.
Yep, but Goku wasn't all that broken up about it. That's the thing is like characters will like die and you'd expect him because he's kind of like the wacky zany guy.
Double crossed Amigo several times in this movie, and I was like,
Yeah,
wow, Amigo is like very like reasonable considering
yeah,
how
he's
many times he's actually betrayed him, and he just comes back in. He's like, oh yeah, we still have a deal, and
yeah.
then it obviously
It's like,
turns out
okay.
to all be a farce in the end. But
You like the card which had information on it, except it didn't have information. Well, so that was her lying though, right? Why would her putting the card in and saying there's nothing on here? How would that help her plan ultimately?
mm,
In context now, that makes no
I
sense.
don't know. Yeah, they had the so many weird little bits like the mouth bomb thing, where he put put a little bomb in his mouth.
So bad. Oh my god. Just like everything about that was I I can't even describe the feeling that I had when I was having to watch that. Like I wanted to like escape my body. Like it was I just wanted to just leave
Yeah.
everything. It was just that was so stupid and not funny, and it I think I basically completely sold off the movie at that point. I'm like, no, I'm done. This movie's it
The way
can't do
she
anything
took it
from
out,
here.
she took it out and chucked that thing and it blew up. And it's like, I saved your life too. So you owe me 50-50. And
She
they're
barely
constantly
chucked it.
making.
She like tossed it out the window. Like it was like it like rolled probably like 2 feet
Yeah.
from. You don't see it. You just hear the explosion.
Yeah. And they're constantly making new deals 50-50. And
Yeah.
then what the fuck are they on about? About we need to make a four-way deal with the card as well.
Yeah. What?
And
What does that mean? I
they
was trying
meant
to be
it
like,
too.
what?
I was like,
What do you
actually, what
mean?
was
Yeah, he was like, no, because with the card is everything. Without
Yeah.
the card, there's no deal. And I'm like, but
Dude
no, that's
didn't get a
just
cut
part
of
of
the
the
money.
deal. It's not a four-way deal. The card can't get money. It's a card.
Yeah.
Also, the card ends up being useless and not really needed because they break it and then toss it out the window. I'm like,
Yep.
why would you do that? Weren't you just saying the card's the most important
The
thing? I mean,
motivations
even
are a
if it's
little
a
weird in
fake,
this movie.
yeah, nothing is like retained from scene to scene,
And the
really.
Wiggles were
That's the
pretty useless as characters. Like they get killed off pretty quick. Like
Did the cop kill them all? Or
the cop
Harmonica Man, did he kill them?
the cop killed one
I
of
couldn't
them, I
even remember.
think.
Yeah.
And then the dude, the
One of them got ran over.
yeah, so the pencil guy killed Blue. He stabbed Blue, and then the
Okay, yeah, he
green
stabbed Blue.
guy
Yeah, right.
in a horribly shot. In a horrible shot, the green guy like inexplicably runs in front of a car. It was like almost.
Yeah,
It wasn't like he got caught off guard. The way they shot it, it was like he just ran right
he
into.
ran into the car. Yeah,
Yeah.
and also another thing is like the car didn't stop or slow down at all. He just murdered somebody that you're not gonna do
It's
anything
tough.
about it.
So the constant quote they were going for is the big quote that who says it initially. There are two types of people in this world: one who break trust and another who will break trust. They said that a few
Oh yeah,
times.
that's right. They did say that a few times.
And that's the whole
Yeah,
theme of the
I
movie is
forgot that.
double
Yeah,
crossing over and
yeah.
over.
And I guess he's at the very end. I guess they're trusting him to be a guy, again, be the guy,
In
because
the
they
end,
show up in
the epilogue, they offer him
Yeah,
another arrangement. It's crazy. Wow.
yeah, and the way that's shot is awkward too, because they like he's standing right across from them, and then he's like cool, and then he like holds this gun, and then he like is like holding it straight at them, and they're just both like,
And he fires the
and then he
gun.
fires it.
That's
I was like, wait, what? What? I was
Did
like,
he
wait,
just
what?
kill them?
No, I don't think so. I don't
Or
think
was
that's what it was
that was
implying. But
just
it was
like the
just like
snappy like
a
end
cool.
of the
Yeah,
movie,
it's like
right?
yeah,
Like
it's
you
just
were
like the
aiming
cool
it
way to
at
end the
them.
movie. Yeah,
You shot
yeah, he
it.
was, and they seemed real chill about it too. They didn't seem to be like, maybe don't point that thing.
And shot them. He shot that
Yeah,
gun
yeah, he shot
canonically
that
in this
gun to
movie.
end the movie.
Uh, yeah, and I like how the
And
guy after his deal falls through, all the stuff he goes through in the movie, he gets nothing out of it. and then he goes back to his job, and he's like a boring businessman guy, I guess. He put his hair up and
he's got glasses on, and
he's back with this girl who had a crush on him in the beginning of the movie, and he doesn't care about clearly.
Yeah, why not? She seems so sweet and wholesome. She was even lending him money.
Yep.
For crying out loud. That's a keeper.
He put that $100 bill down for her, right? And then he took it back up. Yeah.
What a bastard.
A bastard. And then he ended up getting all of his money from the deal.
Yeah, so is he gonna he better lavish that money on her. She deserves it. She was too sweet for the movie.
But she but he did not care. He never cared, and then he had and he didn't care about Bonita until she made like I don't know if she even said anything.
Yeah.
But then it just turned into flirting, I guess, and then it was all just
flirting, I guess. I was wondering how any of the animation at the beginning was going to wrap around to anything that happened in the rest of the movie, and absolutely none of it mattered. None of it mattered at all.
Thank God. Too.
I thought they were gonna. I guess maybe there's kind of like the thing where it's like the guy kisses the girl at the end. At the end, is what happens with
so weird. That was weird.
Bonita and Amigo. I guess maybe there's some of that. Maybe that's kind of what they were going for there. But it was so horrible that who cares? Who cares about any of it?
They did the. He's like right next to Go Cool. They did the classic dip and make out in front of him.
The dip make out, and they did it for like a long time too.
You stole my scene. That's my scene.
Yeah, and they did it for like an awkwardly long period of time, and then they like looked at him, and then they shut him in the trunk, and it was strange.
Well, what was especially an awkward long amount of time was that standoff. Did you notice how long that went on for? It was
that was like almost long, 3 or 4 minutes,
just cutting to people.
Yes,
doing nothing in the standoff.
Yes. It was. I was excruciating.
The intensity was building.
It was excruciating. Yeah. But thankfully, harmonica guy was dead by that point, so we didn't have to hear.
And they both. It's a weird part where they both throw keys too. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff.
I guess that was to trick pencil guy, crazy pencil guy who always is trying to tell people about his dream that he had. So after the first kill, he uses the blood on the pencil to like do art.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be like an actual character quirk, and then he never uses it again. Also, is it implied that when he's drinking that water that's red, he said it's juice. He almost gave it to the Benita.
Yeah, is that the blood?
When Benita's in there. And I was like, is that the blood that you just had in the water from
down
before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it might be that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we said before, but I want to make mention of it again. Yeah. Everyone's just like snooping in people's trunks.
That's right. That's right.
This movie, what is going on? People are just opening every trunk you could think of. They're just, why are we looking in the boot? What are we doing here? Yeah. I don't understand what the point of that is.
Well, luckily, Bonita saw the dead body in the pencil guy's trunk,
and then didn't move. She saw that, and then she didn't, instead of like
she really just lucked out from Go Cool pulling up, right? That's what it was. He just like happened to pull up and in that moment as he was sharpening his pencil, getting ready.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, there's a dead body in that trunk, and then they don't do anything about it. And then there's like this awkward double cross where they like he's following them, and then they do a thing where like then they're following him, except it's strange and awkward.
Yeah, we thought Bonita
and then he pulls over. Why does he pull over?
I don't know.
He pulls over, and then the cop like knows what's going on, but he still like just ties the guy up, and he doesn't like arrest him or stop him really in any way. Like you would have thought that he'd like kill him then. Why would he?
I can't understand these characters. Yeah, like he's a cop, I guess, but he just shoots people randomly.
He just shoots people,
and he seems like he's going off doing his own thing, like.
Yeah, that's with the harmonica thing. He's a rogue cop. That's his with the harmonica. Why don't they just? You could use any synthesizer to make a harmonica sound. Why are you doing that?
Mhm.
Why are you doing that? That horrible screeching noise that I probably heard like 35 times throughout the course of this movie. It was so bad. Oh, I can't get over how bad that was. So bad.
Yeah, the
Um,
Wiggles team was really lame. And then, so they were initially tied to the guy who had the goods, right? Because the goods that end up in the taxi were originally they belonged to
right,
this guy that the pencil guy ends up killing, and
right.
he had this whole cash on delivery thing set up.
So he was the tax. So he the original guy then? He was going to be the original
He
guy
was
that they
gonna
do this whole
deliver.
deal with.
He was gonna deliver it to Don Carlos, right? Or no?
Y- Yeah, yeah. So was he the guy that was going to work with? Yeah, I don't
Yeah, it
know.
was
I
like
don't.
get. He wanted them to get the taxi for him because he was trying to
Yeah,
make the deal. I think.
right.
I don't know. But the Wiggles team was lame. I don't know why the green guy was speaking all like high pitched, like, "Oh yeah, what's going on?"
Yeah, it was like it's like the gag in at World's End expanded to 25 minutes of a character.
Mhm.
And so we go to war. It's like that,
Mhm.
except that's his whole person. That's it. He's in the movie for like 10 minutes, and it's like, why do you speak like that?
Yeah, then the initial taxi driver guy who like has this awful makeup to make him
Hmm.
look like dirty, I guess. It just looks
Yeah, I
really
guess so.
stupid. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else? Oh my gun. Oh my gun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Don't
my
even get me
gun. Oh
started.
my
He's,
gun.
oh my gun. It's like, what
Every
is this supposed to
time
be?
Amigo kept threatening
Cute
him
or
with the
funny?
gun,
Yeah. Oh my
say, "Oh
gun.
my gun." Yeah.
The name is Cool. Go Cool.
Yeah, he was really cringe in this movie, I think. Like
Yeah.
he's doing the over the top animated guy. He has a couple of scenes where it's like right on him, like looking at the camera, doing
Mm.
something, and he's
Yeah. And
like,
he's like doing all this.
"Oh."
Like, there's all kinds of weird like facial pantomime. Like, it feels like a silent movie almost. And like, I don't know how much of this, because we haven't seen like maybe any specific like comedies,
Mhm.
which I guess this is supposed to be kind of a
Oh
comedy.
yeah,
I mean,
it's all comedy. Yeah, I think it's
yeah,
all intentional. The over the top
yeah,
nature of it is intentional. It's
it's
just
just bad. It's
yeah.
just bad though. It's not because it's not funny. It's like, to me, comedy should have at least some universality to it. There's going to be like small subsets that will probably like not be able to cross um
Mhm.
certain language barriers and everything, but like, you could play you can play Three Stooges or Laurel and Hardy to any audience across the world, and they would find it funny because you can get the emotion across, you can get the story or whatever across. And yeah, sometimes they have talking and words, but you don't need a lot of that for the funny to come out of it
Yeah.
a lot of the time. This just wasn't funny. It's just straight up. There's almost no worse thing than a bad comedy, and yeah, that's kind of why I hated it.
It's like, and there's no great performances, but
No,
yeah, I think maybe Bonita might be my favorite character, kind of.
she probably was my favorite character too, even though,
But it
yeah,
was
I
so
don't know.
bizarrely like, without knowing that she's ultimately like
A
undercover.
spy.
There's a bizarrely insistent on being in this taxi, and they had a whole bit
Yeah,
about. They would
and
constantly have bits about like, uh, he's trying to drive away from her, or she's trying to like make sure he takes him, he takes
oh, yeah,
her,
they just
and
happen across a motorcycle and they just start siphoning it
no,
somehow. Or was that supposed to
I
be?
thought that was Amigo's motorcycle. Is what I
Yeah, but did they
thought.
double back and get it?
That's what I thought.
They
I
turned
thought that's
around
what
like four
I thought that's
times. I
what
don't
their
know. I
idea
couldn't
that
keep.
what they had was. It's like, oh wait, now we
Yeah,
can go back and get because he's not going to be driving it
gas
like
from it.
that. Uh,
Yeah. But they like that was the thing where they turned around like three or four times in the movie, so I couldn't even tell, like, are we supposed to even be keeping track of what direction they're going? I don't know. It's just, there's so much time in vehicles. And oh, also we talked about the slideshow action scene, but there was also the sped up one
mhm.
took place after that. where they were going like 15 miles per hour, and they sped it up to make it look like they were going slightly faster than
Like
that,
that,
and it just
yeah.
doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to actually be going at least kind of fast to make that work.
Yeah.
So
So here's the thing: it's like this movie. It clearly gives the vibe it's a low budget movie,
mhm.
and so if I knew like the intention behind making it, I could probably be less critical. If they were like very much like, yeah, we know it's a low budget movie and we're just making a stupid comedy out of it, and it's over the top.
Yeah, we're just
It's all
right.
on purpose. It might be what it is, you know. It might not be like, oh, this is very much like this is art, and we want you to, criticize it as such.
Right. Like it didn't. I don't know if. Well, so like I said, where it felt like it was like a TV movie, like even to the point where there was like commercial breaks, or it felt like commercial breaks in it, or that could have been just bad editing because the movie also has really bad editing. So, um, yeah, like it's hard to say like, if this was just like a dumb movie that the director made with his friends. But the thing is that you then have an English or American or some kind of actor playing that one character that he.
Hmm.
I mean,
Well,
you don't
let's
have to pay
say,
him all that much. He probably showed up for like 2 hours of shooting, and then that was it. So
that reminds me. It
um,
did say it was a passion movie, something like
yeah,
that. So
yeah,
some
passion
sort of
movies. I don't.
studio.
Yeah, so
I
so
don't
yeah,
know
so
what
some
they did.
studio had something to do with it in some way.
Because the thing is, I don't know
Um,
if it's just a fun movie they did, and it's like, all right, we won't expect you to take it that serious. We're just having
yeah,
fun with it. It's stupid, we know it. Or is it just like we are making slop, and we're churning it out? Like the studio is just churning it out
yeah. Well,
for
it
low
does.
budget.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that there are. It could be a little mixture of both because there are out there in like the B and low budget movie scenes. There are just straight up companies that will pay out like, hey, we'll pay you this much money to license this, so both of us can make a buck on it, basically. Um, so it could have been an instance of that happening with the passion films. I don't even know. I've never even heard of that before in my life. I don't know if they're like, do they license and distribute?
Indie films.
Um, maybe, yeah. Passion Films is an India-based multi-director film production house. Oh, that's not. So it's Passion Movies then.
Yeah, that's what it says in the poster.
Passion Movies is an Indian film production company which develops, produces, and distributes films, short films, as well as music albums.
All right. So we got to decide in terms of when we
Hmm.
when we score this movie. We're down there, obviously very low. The lowest
This
we
is
reviewed is Alien Origin, which we gave
yeah,
a 0.5 out of 10. That's the
right,
lowest we can go.
yeah.
And then like another movie, I think the only other movie I can think of that's that low is On the Line. I think came out to like a 1.5 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So where do we fall? Is it as bad as Alien Origin? Or is there enough there?
There's more of a movie here. That was practically nothing. That was like a
Yeah,
product.
more to talk. Just more that sticks out in your
Yeah,
mind for
yeah.
sure. There's more memorable scenes. They were yeah, they were doing stuff here, even if it wasn't great. There's still stuff
Yeah.
happening. There was a guy killing people with pencils. I mean, come on.
Which was insane. That's actually an insane thing to have in your movie, if
Insane.
you
That's
think
his
about it
thing.
that way. Yeah.
But everybody had their thing.
Um.
The guy had his
Yeah.
harmonica. The
Yeah.
dude Amigo with his gun and his motorcycle.
Yeah. The problem. So, like, thinking about something like On the Line. On the Line probably would have been at least maybe like a 4 had it not been for the ending. The ending was like the most insulting thing I've ever seen in my
The double
life.
cross. They double crossed us.
Um.
It
Yeah.
was
And but this was just bad. This was just bad through and through.
yeah,
It
if you
had
just
every hallmark of a bad movie,
if
but it
you
wasn't. But it was never really fun with it. It was.
okay,
That's. I think that's my problem. This is like a staple classic bad movie,
mhm.
but it's lacking any of the fun that makes it enjoyable. Like they kind of lazed out on all of the stuff that would have been maybe more interesting.
Yeah.
But like
There's
show the explosion,
some
like maybe blow something up.
yeah.
I don't know.
There's some fun, but it's like a few and far between, with like so much like dead air leading up to it.
Yeah.
It's just purely on a production standpoint. It's just everything is not good. You know, sound effects, the score, the editing, the acting, the animation.
Oh, that animation's rough.
It's like
Previs
didn't have to be that
animatic.
bad. You
Yeah.
know? Damn. That was really truly scarring stuff. That video is crazy to watch.
I love how you said, because I felt the same way, where it's like, is this going to be the whole movie? Like, what is going on right now? That was kind of what I was worried about.
Whoa, why are we just watching this? It was like, because they just throw you into it, you know?
Yeah, and it's like 3 minutes long. You know, it's not like a quick cut thing that you'd have like for maybe like 60 seconds, 90 seconds. It's like, no, it's like a solid 3.5 minutes.
All just to have a reveal. The payoff is that, oh, this was a animation that this guy had been working on, our main character. And I still don't know what they were trying to convey. Were they trying to show that he's a horrible animator, or it's like, oh, whoa, he did some cool shit right there?
Are they trying to say that he's a hack because he's just ripping off? More like he's ripping off the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and like better movies or something, so he can't do anything original.
And then he's like, there's this whole sequence in the beginning where he's like, I'm gonna get promoted. You know, he's finally recognizing I'm gonna be like creative director. And then instead he hits him with a termination letter, and then he writes, "No, actually, I quit." On top of that, and then
but then he's able to come back, I guess. Anyway, they still invite him back, which is weird.
Yeah,
but well, that also leads to the only bit of like I would say is universal comedy, except it's done in the most poor, horrible, and unfunny way possible, and that's the mistaken door opening. You know, that's like a universal comedy bit. Like, oh, he opens the door and it's the wrong door. He's like trying to open the wrong door. It's like
yes, the closet door.
Except that's done badly and not funny. Like, there's so many better ways that you could do that.
Because we don't even the shot we don't even get any reaction from the boss. It's the back of his head. It's like, and like you don't get anything from that. It's like, okay. He's just doing his thing. He's saying his whole.
The boss is literally just like,
yeah.
No, when it's it's like shot reverse shot, but like the shot, they don't even do a reverse shot, but the shot is just like the boss just watching him awkwardly walk. And it's like he's completely still. He's not like shaking his head or anything.
He does this whole wild monologue. He has nothing to say about that, or
no. It's yeah.
So, yeah, because early on I made a note that's like there's so much time wasted on really long, stupid scenes.
Yeah.
It's like so much time. Just in chapter 1 alone. They had chapters in this movie.
Oh, yeah, they had chapters. They were trying to do a thing with it. But it wasn't good, though. It was...
Are we ready for our final score?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, flip. 1.
Yeah,
Tarqaron score of 1.
It's just it just was not good.
1 out of 10.
Just was not
important to clarify. It is out of 10.
Important to clarify. It is a 1 out of 10.
So,
but,
it is just funny to me that On the Line is 1.5 and this is 1.
Yeah.
Like On the Line is clearly a way better movie. It's like
which is
like technically it's just way better.
Yeah. And from a technical standpoint, and even from an acting standpoint, it's a way better movie.
Yeah,
but it's also
we're scaling. Movie. I mean, obviously, if we're gonna say a really bad movie that has like a moderately decent budget compared to this, it's gonna end up really low. But then we have a cheap, low budget movie like this. It's like it's not always just. I mean, it's the closest you can get to a 0.5 without being a 0.5.
Yeah.
So. I mean, so it just ends up with the right neck and neck. COD, cash on delivery, and On the Line.
We've made it sound more interesting, by the way, and it's not. Don't watch this, please. Nobody has. In fact, we have no proof that anyone's seen this movie. because there's no reviews about it anywhere.
What a horrible
Like
name of a movie too.
IMDb has like a 9.3 or something like that, but when I clicked and tried to look at reviews, there are none. So I don't know how that is possible.
So it's possible no
But
one has ever seen this movie before.
it is entirely possible that no one's watched it.
I did see, just like Googling it, there was like reviews. There was like a 4.5 star out of 5 on like, there was like 10 reviews on something. Like, I don't know if it's just like, they just had some people go on there and review it.
Go on there and like spam it. Yeah. Maybe they were trying to review POD, like the band. Maybe they're trying to review their album. Yeah. Oh wait, I typed in the wrong thing. Whoopsies.
It's a horrible name for a movie.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if I've ever seen a movie title with parentheses in it. Now that as I was looking at it, at least how it's like spelled on Letterboxd and other outlets is COD parentheses cash on delivery. It's not like COD colon anything like that.
Yeah.
But if you look at this movie poster that I have up here, it's C.O.D. Cash on delivery is underneath.
That's how it is in the movie too, when it shows the opening titles.
Yeah.
They had a James Bond theme too. Basically, and it was one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That was another one that was horrible. And they would like cut to it every once in a while in the movie, and I was like, please make it stop. Maybe I want to go back to the harmonica. No, I never wanted to go back to the harmonica noise.
Yeah, well. We need to do next up. We'll be doing a COD character tier list. This is coming up. Who you got?
Well, I'm waiting for the sequel. Where's the sequel? There was sequel bait in this.
I know they teed it up, but not a single soul watched. So
yeah, so I can't do it now.
Let's do a quick tier list. Pencil guy.
Okay. B.
Dude, B.
Because he's kind of just weird. He's just there.
He's so stupid. Like there's nothing enjoyable about him at all. Literally, he just sharpens his pencil and kills people, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, and then does art sometimes.
Whatever he's talking about, no one's hearing what he's talking about. He's saying stuff to himself. The voices in his head.
Only Harmonica Cop says the only person that is the only person that listens to him. And even then, he doesn't really want to listen to him.
He fucks up the harmonica guy, and the harmonica guy gets him. But then the pencil guy ultimately wins the battle, right? That was kind of unexpected. I was like, oh, wow, he actually got... Harmonica guy killed him. But no, the pencil guy came back and got him. But, okay, so... B, okay. I give him a C. How about...
okay, all right.
Harmonica guy.
Okay. D.
It's a D. Yeah.
I hated every time he was on screen. It felt like he added nothing, and other than just that noise, the screeching noise of a harmonica.
There's like no actual depth to any of these characters. Well, like
no.
At least these like they give a little bit of the main couple, but Goku
ADR, man. The ADR of the movie. How is that on the tier list? Where's the ADR on
Just
there?
the ADR period?
Just the ADR period.
F.
That's F. Yeah, it's F. F tier, baby.
Yeah. Goku.
Awful.
Where do you put Goku?
He's like for this movie, he's probably like an A tier, but I hated him though.
Nah,
so
C tier.
C tier? Yeah, C tier. That's probably actually more appropriate, yeah.
What about Amigo?
C tier. Amigo, I don't really have any feelings about Amigo though.
He just has aura.
Fine. Yeah, he does have aura. Maybe so. A tier for aura. A for
A
aura.
tier, wow,
give him that.
Big.
A for aura.
I give him a D. All right, it's
okay.
Bonita. And S,
I mean, she's
triple
S,
S tier.
Yeah, she's
absolutely.
S. Yeah,
so good
for this movie. For this
outstanding.
Crap.
Wiggle guy number 1.
Blue Wiggle? Is Blue Wiggle the main one?
I don't remember.
Blue, or is
I don't even
Red
remember
Wiggle
which color was the main one.
The
one Wiggle, I think Yellow Wiggle goes in and talks to the officer or the harmonica guy while he's in the car, and then he gets shot for no reason. Yeah,
They also,
let's say the Wiggles. The Wiggles are F tier.
yeah. Also, another thing. So remember how I mentioned earlier when we were talking about this movie that everyone is just looking in the trunk,
Hmm.
except for these guys. These guys didn't look in the trunk at all. Wouldn't that be the first place you'd look for a Gee, I wonder where this thing is hidden.
Yeah, they
And
didn't
they
look.
didn't look in the trunk
They
at
just
all.
they pulled out the taxi driver.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah. It was
But
insane.
we did get an iconic shot of them looking in the trunk all together, one
Yeah.
at a time. Their heads coming in. Just wow. Hey. Any other characters? That guy who had the goods, who was calling them to do the stuff. he got killed by. He was the first pencil guy victim. F. Absolutely.
F. How about Don Carlos?
Don Carlos is an F. He like barely
F.
says a thing when he
Yeah.
like he's supposed to be this menacing presence, and he just
Yeah.
it's like a little wuss. He
How
just
about
gets taken down.
the boss at the animation studio?
That guy's pretty cool.
That guy speaks in English, so he must be pretty cool.
The girl who had the unrequited crush.
Yeah. I mean, she's a B. You know,
B.
you feel bad for her. Yeah.
B for bad.
Yeah. B for bad. B for bad.
Any other characters?
Yeah, I think we about covered it. This is the taxi driver, I guess.
Taxi driver is not very interesting.
He's an F. Get him out of here.
Yeah. F.
He eats like what is that sandwich? It's like a cucumber and
the
tomato
worst sandwich, man.
It looked like the worst sandwich
Dry
ever.
ass sandwich.
Also, I don't understand. I don't understand that entire interaction. By the way,
I don't
like between him and the cop.
I
still have no idea because he picks it up to eat it, and then the cop comes in. Harmonica cop comes in, and he puts it down, and he like slides it over to him, and then the harmonica cop is like, "There's a deal going down. How much money?" And then he like writes down like how much money,
yeah,
and then he picks up the sandwich, and then he just kills him.
Fucked up.
What did that scene mean?
Harmonica guy will just kill a bitch on sight immediately.
Harmonica cop. Well, you know what they say, a cab. So he's right there. He's right there with him.
The most believable character.
It really is the most believable character there.
Yeah, it's
indiscriminately.
Yeah, and the pencil guy at least was like proven to be like insane. He's talking to himself.
He was consistent, right? You know, he was consistent. Yeah. I mean, I didn't really understand what his motivation was for following certain characters.
Harmonica guy is like cool and chill, like renegade cop for no reason. You know.
Yeah.
It was never that deep. It was just never that deep.
No.
Gotta kill like one of the Wiggles and then kill. This is wild. Kill the taxi driver. Yeah. All right. So that's a 1 out of 10 for COD, cash on delivery.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about it for way too long.
Longer than I thought. Yeah. And I don't expect anybody to watch this review either. Like if not a single soul has watched the movie. I wonder if my brother will watch this one.
I sure hope I kind of hope he doesn't. He doesn't deserve that.
What's the Tarqaron card for cash on delivery, you think?
Yeah, the Wiggles maybe.
Pencil guy.
Harmonica cop.
The pencil.
Pencil guy maybe. Pencil guy.
Just the pencil.
I'm just gonna call him Harmonica cop. I don't know. They all have names because in the cast, I think they actually had like names or whatever for all.
Do they
of them.
ever refer to each other as names though? Ever? I was like trying to look out for it and I couldn't catch any. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. In a couple of months, we'll be back with another Chance Time. You know, it's a regular series here on the channel. And man, we can only go up, right? Surely.
I hope so.
We could have been watching The Legend of Santa Paws at least.
Hey, I probably would have been kind of wholesome, you know. I would have been like
legitimately probably would be at least 7 times better than this movie, score wise, at least. You know,
I would say at least 5. We'll go. We won't
I
go.
don't,
We won't
I don't,
get
I
ahead of
just don't
ourselves.
see
But
me coming and watching a movie called Legend of Santa Paws and giving it a 5. You know,
hating
that's
it.
like
Yeah.
some Scrooge type energy. I'm
Maybe
just
you
gonna
might be
like it.
right. You might be right on
I mean,
that. I don't know.
if that is the movie we were watching on Christmas one year, that was
Hmm.
a good movie. I remember enjoying it. So if it's the same
Okay.
vibe or the same movie, then yeah.
Well, then,
Anyway,
yeah. I mean, it's wholesome. It's just dogs and Christmas, and so what can go wrong
yeah.
there, really?
Anyway, we got so many series on the channel. In similar veins, we have Chance Time. This series, which is for
Mhm.
random movies. We got Pilot Palette for random TV pilots that we watch. And we have Bargain Bin for random $5 or less video game.
Mm.
And plenty other series as well. Survivor every week, movie reviews in general, game reviews, discussions, podcasts, anything you could think of. We've done a video
So
on it. Think of one thing we haven't done
probably.
a video on.
Uh,
Fashion.
yeah. That's probably a good thing. I don't have a sense of fashion, really. Uh,
Makeup.
don't wear makeup.
Uh,
Yeah, we haven't done our own makeup tutorials.
Not the
That's
makeup
true.
review
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah. That's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's no, it's not.
But pop culture wise, I mean, we've touched on it all.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. Yeah, I would say
I just
so.
don't know. I don't know. Subscribe to the channel though for more videos every week. In the meantime, why don't you go check out our reaction to episode 2 of Survivor Guatemala, Penn Island. All right, check it out. Check it
Penn Island.
out.
Hey, it's not Pencil Island. Pencil the Penn Island. Yeah,
Yeah,
the classic.
there's some overlap there, right there. Pen, pen and pencil.
Hmm.
All right. So
Yeah.
yeah, check that out and leave a comment letting us know what you thought of the movie that you definitely watched. All right. Until
All
next
right.
time.